how does it feel to be a part of this, Miss?
Blessed. I feel blessed. I feel motivated. I look forward to, as I said, I am a researcher, so I want to continue working. And even if one student, in future
Right.
gets into that position and writes back to me, hey, miss, today I'm doing this. I'm working on these life projects. How rewarding that
Right.
is for a teacher
Right.
to get a message. And as I had been teaching in university, so all my students back then are at very big positions. So when they contact me, they write back to me. I'm so proud. And they mention those small events. You remember this had happened.
Yeah.
So I go running to my son. See, my students.
And Claire is definitely one
Oh
of
my
them.
God, she is my best. She is the best one among all. They were so motivated that kept me pushing. And we got it published, thanks to the God.
That's a pretty amazing story, actually. So they were the one that kept you going too.
Yes, they were the ones. Yes.
Hi everyone, Trixie's here from BINUS School. Today we have a special edition where I am hijacking the BINUS Podcast edition. Here I have Miss Savita and Claire, who are also from BINUS School, and we're going to be talking about their current project, or I would say the past project that they did, which is pretty amazing, as always. So what are you waiting for? Let's get started. Okay, hi guys. Hi. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
I'm good.
Good. In this end of the year, we are reaching the end of 2021, but we never stop exploring, never stop creating. And here you are as our speaker today, which I am very honored to be here, and we'll be asking you some questions. So I know you two, but the audience may not know who you are. So would you like to introduce yourself to the audience? Maybe we can start with Miss Savita and then we'll go with Claire.
So first, I'm thankful for having me here. And as Miss Trixie said, I am Savita Sondhi. I'm an electronics engineer. I've done my PhD in electronics engineering, and I have a passion for research. So it's always that I look for options to do my work. And as I told that I'm an electronics engineer, I have been studying voice extensively since 2009 when I started my research. And when I study voice, I actually kind of study voice like a social economic communicative tool where we navigate our day-to-day, discussions and conversing. However, when I work, I'm not looking at voice as a medium of language. I'm actually looking at the non-linguistic aspects of voice, which we can use to determine the sociological and physiological aspects of a speaker. So that is my area of research that I actually focus on.
Great. You're a researcher and definitely focus on voice, if you may say. She is a scientist, y'all. All right. What about you, Claire? You want to say hi to the audience?
Hi, my name is Claire. I'm a senior in BINUS School, Simprug, who's planning to study business in the US.
Okay, studying business, but into the science research, you guys. So we're going to be talking about this whole science research that they've been mentioning and I've been mentioning. So to give you an overview, they, Miss Savita, Claire, and 14 of the other students were doing a science research based on voice to detect COVID-19. So, Miss Savita, I know you are so passionate about this. I can tell, and everyone can tell, I think, right, from your introduction. So can you just tell us a little bit about the research itself? What is the research? What maybe what made you do it?
So 2020 March, when this pandemic hit and we started listening about COVID-19, we started hearing how it is infecting people, and we were actually hearing that it is affecting the respiratory tract. Mostly people were having difficulty breathing. It was infecting the lungs. And because I had been working in voice since my PhD work also, so I know that, voice has a particular principle of production. So if you if you want to understand, when the air comes from the lungs, it goes through the vocal tract and it puts the vocal folds into vibration. And this vibration generates a fundamental frequency which goes out upwards towards the resonant cavity and comes out in the form of sound, what we call as voice. So this is the basic mechanism of voice production. But the moment a person is infected by some infection which affects the lung or the respiratory system, what happens is the tissues surrounding the vocal cord or the lung area, they get inflamed. And it also affects the tension. It actually increases the tension of the surrounding striated muscles near the vocal tract. And because the tension has increased, obviously the periodic motion or the frequency of vibration of the vocal folds will change. So that thought made me think that if the breathing pattern is changing, the vibrations of the vocal fold is changing, definitely it is going to change the basic parameters of voice. And then we were also reading about the asymptomatic people. We were knowing that there are so many people who can be carriers. They don't know about because they don't show symptoms, and they actually pass through the test when we actually monitor the temperature and all. So they don't themselves know that they may be having the infection. So why not come up with some system wherein I can actually come up with some reliable parameters, and we can actually differentiate if the person is a carrier and he can be prompted to take necessary action. So that was a thought when I started reading more, and then I started, why not gather samples of COVID infected people, compare them with the healthy people and see what is the changes happening. So that was the...
Yeah, that's how you start with the whole research, is based on your... based on your knowledge about voice, and then combining that into the pandemic that has been hitting us over years now, right?
Yes.
So we keep exploring, we keep innovating and see the things we can do from our side, right? So the name of the article is Voice Processing for COVID-19 Scanning and Prognostic Indicator.
Yeah.
Okay, and we see Claire here. So how did you get involved into this, and what did you do?
So Miss Savita was asking people in my grade, mostly I think, to whoever wants to be involved or volunteer for this research, and I ended up contacting her and telling her that I'm interested in volunteering because of my interest in kind of like data analytics for the time being, and specifically towards business for later on.
Nice. So yeah, I see that you said that you're interested into business, but then here you are involved in science research, which is pretty
very STEM based. So
is that and you seem to did you get to enjoy the whole process of it?
Yeah, definitely working with Miss Savita and doing this whole research is like not an opportunity that we all get as high schoolers, especially.
I have to agree, as high schoolers. So we not very many opportunities, like you said, for high school students even, right? So when you do research, it's usually like graduate students, right, Miss?
Yes.
And like even like doctorate
PhD program.
Yeah. Right. Who would have the opportunity to do it. So how did you get these students to...
Actually, before BINUS, I was in India and I had been teaching in the university for 14 years. So back then I was teaching BTech and MTech courses, and I was mentoring my students for their final year projects, Bachelor of Engineering and Masters. So I was mentoring, and then I was doing my PhD also. After I completed my PhD, we moved. My husband took a job over here and I joined BINUS. But then that passion of research,
Still
once
there.
you are a
Still
mentor,
there.
you kind of... So when I was here in 2016, I met James. And you remember James?
Yeah.
And you guys were together in the same club, right?
in the engineering club.
So I saw him, he had a brilliant idea, and then I just told him, why not write a research paper? And he was very enthusiastic. He started doing that. So that gave me an idea, why not, if I don't have engineering background students, but still these are students.
Right.
So that's how it all triggered. And once I started thinking about this COVID, it can be either I do it with my colleagues in the university, but then how is it going to add value to the place where I am working?
Right.
If I'm working there and if I'm not motivating a person or a student, I'm not a good teacher. I have to actually sow the seeds,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So I spoke to Mr. Peter and he said, okay, why don't you float the option? And if students are willing, they will come. And he gave me an opportunity during the assembly. I discussed. And within hours, you know, before the day ended, I had like 15 students with me. They were so excited. So it's just
Within hours.
within hours.
15
before
students.
The day ended.
15 students signed up to be your
Yes.
assistants.
Yes.
Is that right?
There were more, but like some of them couldn't continue. But
Uh-huh.
these 15 were consistent. They continued till the end.
And Claire is definitely one
Oh
of
my
them.
God, she is my best. She is the best one among all.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. But I guess thank you for also opening up these opportunities for these high school students so they can join and be a part of the research, right? Because without that initiative, I don't think that these students will have that opportunity anywhere else, I would say, right? Unless if they are into science, right?
See, the objective is, you know, I'm a teacher, I'm a mentor. So my objective is to actually show them the path. And I have showed them, I have sown the seeds, so they know the journey. Now they have been through the complete year. They saw how the procedure was. When they will be in the university, they will come in contact with professors who will have their projects. And you know, professors in university, they get grants from different foundations and the government,
yeah.
and you will get a better exposure, better platform with lot of software tools and other things. So once you had been through the journey, and you will know, okay, this is a path that I have already followed. Why not take it up again? And if you are interested, you may. And as a teacher, you know, I feel even if one out of these 15 take it further, and who knows, one day these people, they are innovative, creative, they are great scientists, bringing up innovative technologies and research. Globally, Indonesia also, like,
Yeah.
that will serve my purpose as a my life will be done.
Yeah, and that's pretty amazing. So folks, the journal itself, the scientific journal article was published in Helion on October 7, 2021. So this has gone through several procedures, and we'll be talking about that in a bit. But they were able to the point where they were able to publish it, and now the article itself can be accessed throughout the world. But before we get into there, I want to ask Claire, so how did it feel, you and 14 of your friends, how did it feel to be contributing into this type of findings, I would say, right? Or how did it make you guys feel, you and your friends?
It was definitely a rare opportunity. So for me and all my friends, it's kind of like, oh, this is like something we don't always get to do as 11th graders, because that's when we did most of the work.
Right.
And I mean, it feels incredible that all our work and all the contributions that, you know, we put into this research actually did pay off. So it feels great overall.
Yeah,
it was
so
a very fun experience.
I bet. So what did you do? What steps did you do throughout this whole research?
So for me specifically, I helped more with the data rather than the writing of the paper. So we used we had the software, and Miss Savita taught us how to use it, and then we would help her collect the numbers from the voice messages using that software. We also helped her, if we had any contacts who we could use as the subjects for the research, we would do that as well. And so throughout that, after getting data, we kind of put it into tables, helped her out with formatting into graphs, a lot of that type of stuff as well.
But this happened during the pandemic, right? So how did you gather all of those data during the pandemic?
Remotely, because we just we used the voice recordings that we'd gotten from the subjects, because we asked the subjects to get the recordings for us, obviously, because they have COVID,
right,
and then we would put it into the software and collect numbers from the software. So that's kind of how we did it, and we all did it like remotely. Miss Savita taught us how to do it step by step. So yeah.
How did it feel to be teaching these 15 students,
Amazing,
Miss?
you know, it actually is a motivating thing for me.
Yeah.
Because they are actually the quick learners. As you yourself said, it was a pandemic time. It was
Yeah.
difficult. And Claire, I knew by face because we had worked when she was in grade 7 together. But like the other students, I had never seen them. And you know, Claire, how students are, they don't want to turn on the camera. And I used to always wonder, how does Nadia look like? How does Mariam, and all those students. So if I had to give them instructions, I used to record using the Zoom. I used to show them the steps, and I used to do that Zoom recording, and I used to give it into the WhatsApp group chat. And you won't believe, they never made any mistake. They are quick learners, very dedicated, and to my surprise, even my family, my husband and my son, they were so surprised. I used to just write, hey guys, I need volunteers for this, and within 10 to 15 minutes, me. Okay, come, let's do it. Then and sometimes my husband used to say, let's go, we have to do this. Wait, my students have volunteered, I have to give them instructions and then we can go. So I used to do that Zoom recording and send it to them. So suppose if it is in the evening that I'm sending the Zoom recording, by midnight, data was submitted.
The same day?
Same day, sometimes next morning, but like except one or two, most of them, they used to do it. And I hardly had to send any reminders. So that was a motivating thing. And there were times when I used to, delay because I had my teaching, my marking and so many, and then I had migraine and all. I used to write, guys, I'm sorry, I'm not able to respond to your messages, wait. But these people were prompt. So that kept me going. And I used to always think, oh, these kids are, because I had promised them that if you give me the data and you do everything timely, I will use it. We had prepared a timeline. So I said, you give me the data, I'll use the next chunk for the writing of the paper and I'll get it for the review. And if everything goes well, I was like, even I was praying and I used to ask them, let's pray that it is accepted before you guys start your university applications. Because then you can write and mention.
And they did, right?
They did it. So because they did it timely and I did not have to push them, hey, when are you sending the samples and all, I did not have to ask that. They were so motivated that kept me pushing. And we got it published, thanks to the God.
That's a pretty amazing story, actually. So they were the one that kept you going, too.
Yes, they were the ones, yes.
So what made you guys so enthusiastic about it? What about it? Miss Savita just told us that it was you guys that kept her going. So what made you guys?
I think obviously it's just we try to keep up with work ethic since we are only in 11th grade at the time. And we can't afford to be lazy in DP at least. So I think with that promptness, for me at least, it was kind of I just wanted to do the work for do my responsibilities as they are asked for. So I just did it for I did what she asked for. Oftentimes quickly.
Very quickly. Oh my God, very quickly. I'm telling you, it was once that I was in a very bad state. I was not, my blood pressure had shot and I was not able to understand anything. And my professor, it was March and I was about to upload the paper, almost everything done. And we were finally reviewing and my professor just hinted, oh, we missed out that chunk. And then, yes, we missed it out. Oh my God. And I really went into that panic thing. How am I going to ask them again? Because we had to go back to the square one, start re-analyze. You remember that day? We had to re-analyze the data and then I had to run the statistical analysis again and, restart the system again and then do with the writing also because changes were going to be reflected in the text also. I really was in a bad state and I did not know who to contact. So I called her and I said, Claire, I need your help. At this moment, I'm not able to understand from where to gather the data. I had all the voice samples, but how to send them? It was pandemic and so much huge samples, I cannot send them. It was distributed, everybody had emails, but how to collect? So I said, now you take the lead. I'm going to sleep for some time. And I really slept for that moment. And she took that initiative. She did everything. And then she managed. You kind of contacted everybody and managed everything. And then I got up midnight around 12 when I felt better. I got up and all these students were awake. they were, and when I wrote in the WhatsApp message, I just answered. There was a question I answered, and then everybody started writing to me. Miss, we have done this, this, and this is our work. And until 3, they stood with me. They were with me, connected. These kids who have their classes next morning,
I would be empowered too if I were you, for sure.
Exactly. Look at that commitment.
Right.
Who won't feel like these students, I have to do something for them.
I'm very proud, actually so proud of you guys. Really though, you and the 14 of your friends, that's pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing.
No wonder you speak highly about
No, see, what else can a teacher expect from students? Like,
Right.
If I am the one who's pushing, like I teach my students, and you may know about them, sometimes I have to push them, submit the assessment,
Right.
So that actually discourages a teacher. Like, I
Right.
will not be very innovative. I won't be
Right.
thinking more if I have to
Right.
keep pushing about one thing.
Right.
But if I get my things ready, at least I can think about the next part.
Right.
I'm not wasting my energy to collect the data. So I was blessed in that sense, I must say.
I think so too. And I think because of this commitment, this is a commitment. And through this commitment, we created an innovation, right, Miss? And this innovation did foster and empower, just like our vision, right? How does it feel to be a part of this, Miss?
Blessed. I feel blessed. I feel motivated. I look forward to, as I said, I am a researcher, so I want to continue working. And even if one student, in future
Right.
gets into that position and writes back to me, hey, miss, today I'm doing this. I'm working on these life projects. How rewarding that
Right.
is for a teacher
Right.
to get a message. And as I had been teaching in university, so all my students back then are at very big positions. So when they contact me, they write back to me. I'm so proud. And they mention those small events. You remember this had happened.
Yeah.
So I go running to my son. See, my students.
What about you, Claire? How does it feel to be a part of this fostering and empowering?
I mean, it's basically our school values and what we try to embody. Obviously, before the school values was a bit different, but it's kind of the same idea. And I've been in BINUS since I was young, so it kind of feels great that I'm kind of growing up, going towards the certain values and certain vision that the school had in mind for all of their students.
It must be very rewarding for you too, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. This isn't an opportunity everyone can get. That's one. And two, your commitment created something. You and your friend's commitment, along with Miss Savita, obviously, right? It created something. It created an innovation that
I would say legacy. They have created a legacy which the young BINUSians may want to, if they are interested, they may also want to
Right.
have that.
And it created an innovation to the point that this is not just something for us in here, but for the people in Indonesia and around and globally too. Remember that. So this type of innovation really creates an effect for the whole world. How amazing is that? I'm so proud. I'm very proud to be here and listening to you guys' story about it as well. It empowers me for sure it makes me feel like, what have I done this far? I don't think I've done much, but I mean, great for you.
The path is still there. You're progressive.
That's right. Maybe if you have like future research and I can be a part of it, I would love to.
Most welcome. Yeah, definitely.
So, Claire, this is your last year in school. Where are you going next?
Going to the US.
Okay. And then studying business, like you said earlier?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay. So what do you want to say to the younger BINUSians? Say that to the audience and and I don't know, maybe any special message for them? And maybe a special message for your friends too who will be watching this?
Yeah, so to, I guess, all the BINUSians, I guess in this case, kind of take any opportunity that's handed to you. Who knows, it might end up being something really fruitful for you. And for those who's doing DP, and I know DP is hard, just stay consistent and try and make that balance between studies and whatever opportunities you have extracurricularly. So
Right, DP is very hard. I hear that from all the DP students, and she's one of the teachers for DP. What about you, Miss? Any special messages for BINUSians, or maybe for all of the audience?
I'll just say, as Claire said, grab the opportunity, whatever comes in your way, and think about contributing to the society. Think how you can actually add in value, and if we all are going to think along, like doing our part, that will definitely make this world a better place. So let's get together and do some innovative research that benefits the mankind and the environment, our planet Earth. So that should be the objective. Look forward to it, and that's it.
Very well said, you guys. So that's those whole thing packaged into fostering and empowering, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud to be here listening to you guys' story. So thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting with me.
Thank you for having us over.
and I hopefully through this it'll empower more people to join us, because together we can.
Definitely.
Right?
Together. It's only together.
Right.
It's a combined effect, yes.
Like you said, without the 15 students, that
it wouldn't have been that quick and that exciting also,
I would say so. So thank you again. Thank you, Miss Savita. Thank you, Claire, for joining us in today's podcast.
Thank you.
We hope to be talking to you a little more. Maybe once you are in America and you want to talk to us, we can do that too. Thank you all. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. Thank you for staying with us and listening to the story about how the journey of making the voice processing for COVID-19 scanning and prognostic indicator science article. So thank you again. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.